Alright, hello and welcome back to Slouching Towards Bedlam. So last time we finally figured out how to get another ending. It involved going to Newgate Jail, which is an area we didn't explore before. So this time we're going to take a brief break from exploring around, and take a brief break from getting endings to explore this jail, because we didn't get to do that properly before. Outside flat 2D and handsome cab. A small empty road lies at the base of a small hill. It is lined with thin buildings, many advertising flats to let in their windows. The one directly north contains a door labeled 2D. To the west is the massive stone edifice that is Newgate Jail. A gallows prepared for tomorrow's public execution towers over the street. Triage rests obediently nearby. So we get out of the cab. So if we go west, before the gallows, we looked at the gallows before. I don't think there's anything else. I think we did examine the gallows fully last time. We can try going north to the... We actually do have the key. Unlock door with a small key. There we go, now we can go north. Flat 2D. Despite being small and cluttered with bits and pieces of electronics, this one-room flat gives the impression of being quite clean and hygienic. No dust or dirt lurk in its bright corners. The east wall holds a mirror and is neatly lined with evenly spaced picture frames. A large table, clearly a workshop space, takes up the west wall beneath an arched window. A shadow stretches lazily from the window across the floor. The flat's single exit lies to the south. Triage trundles patiently along beside. We just take all to start out with. We took the trade card. We got a trade card and a paper-backed book. I guess we should have. We should examine things first. I need to stop. Examine mirror. 3 heavy oak frames line the wall beside the mirror, each one containing a picture. A young man standing proudly outside Charing Cross Medical School, a formal photo of a junior rugby team with the same young man in the third row, an older version of the man smiling from a gaggle of classmates on graduation day. The man in each picture is a shadow of the face reflected in the mirror. So this is my flat, it's probably clear. And that's me. Now the photos, examine table. Much of the heavy wooden tabletop is obscured by a large magnetophone. Examine magnetophone. A stout metallic box, approximately 2 feet long by a foot deep. On its side is a small label which reads, Wheatstone Cook Aether Magnetophone Company, beneath which is a small closed panel. Its front contains a simple toggle switch, a button labeled transmit. The long, graceful curve of a signet speaker. At its back is a small valve connected to a rubber tube which trails along the floor. And it's broken, right? We were telling Cleve about that before he died. What did we get? Examine, I've got a book and a trade card. Examine trade card. A trade card depicting a smiling, smartly dressed gentleman with a small black box on the wheels by his side. It reads, Modern Office Marvel. The Triage Mark III trademark is the marriage of professional efficiency and understated elegance. Its sleek onyx casing houses a mechanical brain capable of rapid data retrieval and analysis. Pre-programmed with an encyclopedia's breadth of knowledge, the Triage Mark III is every businessman's friend. Savvy executives may choose to order the stunning ivory data entry device, sold separately, to expand and customize the Triage's library. Available at Demond's, Mechanist of Repute since 1803, 1428 Fleet Street, Smithfield Market, London. On the opposite side of the card is a handwritten note. Bill of sale. 1 etheric amplifier to be picked up. Paid in full. Order number 59208, Dumond. And we got a paperback book. Examine book. Examine paperbacked book. The book is open to a marked page labeled Troubleshooting Your Magnetophone. Home User's Guide. Number 1. Problem. Nothing happens when I turn my magnetophone on. Be sure that your magnetophone is hooked up to a viable power source, not the power source is active. If you are sure your power source is active, toggle your switch. 2. Problem. All I hear is static, or I can hear other operators, but they can't hear me speak, or they do not answer. To broadcast, be sure to press the transmit button each time you wish to speak. While the transmit button is depressed, your magnetophone acts as a receiver, not a transmitter. Also, be sure to use proper etiquette when operating your magnetophone. To let another operator you wish to make contact, press the transmit button and use the universally accepted phrase calling CQ. If you fail to use this code, other operators may believe they are picking up the middle of an alternate conversation and will not respond for fear of interrupting. Number 3. Problem. I can hear static in voices, but they are faint or indistinct. Magnetophone customers living in highly populated urban areas may experience transmission interference due to the presence of large buildings, crowded streets, and pollution. You may try alleviate to this problem by placing the magnetophone by a clear opening, such as a window. If this does not fix the problem, you may need to purchase one of several amplification devices designed to fit into your machine's expansion slots. Alright, so I guess what we're supposed to do from here, clearly, is driver Fleet Street. We're going to go south, out, south into Des Moines. Give trade card to Dumont. Dumont takes the card and fumbles in her pocket for her monocle. Eyepiece in place, she scrutinizes it. Her face relaxes into an open smile. Sorry I didn't recognize you, sir. I do a good trade here. Lots of folks in and out. I have no memory for faces. Just a moment. She fiddles under the counter, her movements bring about the clang and bang of metal on metal. Here it is, sir. Should fix the reception problem straight away. She places a small module on the counter and then sets back to work. Dumont bites her lower lip as she continues to work. Take module. Alright, so I think that's all there is to get from the jail. I'll save this. I don't think we're going to go much more from this save. But it's nice to have, at least. Now, let's get another ending, I guess. Restore. And what we're going to do here, we're going to go to Bedlam, out, north, kill James, south, kill driver. Now, what we do to get the next ending we're going to see, apparently, is we're going to wait. We're just going to sit on our hands. Why gone missing part whole silent self? The cold creeps a little further. Cease existence, no, null, gone, how, why. The cold has teeth now. It stretches, unfolding like a flower. We got this before, right? But this time we're just going to let it happen. Stop pain, killing, hurting children, cells, stop. It will not be denied. It reaches, it breathes. Force control, survive, protect, stop, stop, stop. It is almost here. It is almost... Yes, yes, have, take, all now, take, force, stop now, yes, yes. Cleve's words somehow echo across the world. Too late, too late. If there are words for this, they have not yet been written. 24 hours later, Dr. Thomas Xavier was found in his flat, unconscious and bleeding, apparently from self-inflicted wounds. Just as they had on Fleet Street on the evening of March the 3rd, the Bobbies knocked down the apartment's door after complaints of hideous noises coming from the place. Several of those involved in the arrest refused to speak of it afterwards. The papers gleaned their horrific descriptions of the state of the flat from eyewitness accounts given during Xavier's infamous trial. During the trial, Xavier also admitted to the murder of Reginald Mondi. the handsome cab driver who had been assigned to him. Monty's death had previously been attributed to a botched robbery. Upon hearing about Xavier's death, Dumont experiences a horrible instant of dawning realization. It's the pattern, we read about that. Things come full circle. Thomas Xavier is brought home to Bedlam, sentenced to live out the rest of his days interred as a patient. At the end, no matter what the public may debate, the reasons or his actions can only ever be known to him. That is Appendix E, that is new. So that is where we become the new Cleve, I suppose. As you do. Let's check out that appendix. Appendix E, excerpt from file F6A143, Thomas Xavier. Is that the code for the jail we were in before the cell? Patient name, Thomas Xavier, doctor, age 37. Physical description, 6 foot, 14 stone, hazel eye, brown hair. Distinguishing mark, badly bruised about face and chest, may indicate struggle, tongue missing. Residence, Old Bailey area, Newgate. Attending alienist, Sir John Charles Bucknell. Patient arrested for gruesome murder of Bedlam attendant James Houlihan, possibly responsible for the murder of several others. Patient was found in his flat, bloody and unconscious. His tongue has been removed, although it is unclear whether he is bitten off or cut it out on his own, or if this was done to him. The tongue has not been located. Patient refuses to answer any questions concerning it. Observation. The patient's psyche has created a complex inner world, delusions to define his actions as a sacrifice, something noble. These illusions in part seem to have grown out of his interactions with patient F6A142. Right, that's Cleve, that's one off of him. Reference patient file, the last that he treated before his evident breakdown. It is the stuff of penny dreadfuls, a scheming, omnipotent secret society, an unwitting victim, and a paranormal force whose will is stronger than his own, thereby alleviating the patient of any actual responsibility for his despicable actions. Do you know where you are? Bedlam. Do you know why? Make safe. Safe from what, Thomas? Why do you feel as though you are in danger? No, safe from me. Patient hastily crossed out what he had written, then, not me, knew me, we, it, stopped it, saved all. What is this it, Thomas? In me, angry, hurting, trying to reach, won't let it. Wants to take over. I took my... Patient crossed out my, more agitated this time. Its voice. Without words, it cannot... Patient's eyes grew wide at this point, staring at the pen in the hand that held it as though it were an enemy. Then, burn these papers. Burn all my records. Destroy triage. Everything they touched must be destroyed. The words, we can't give it the words. Told patient I didn't understand why the records should be destroyed. The response was immediate. A low, guttural groan came from his throat, and then he quickly stood up, throwing his chair back. He began tearing the pages in his hand, went after all the pages in the table. It took 2 orderlies and a sizable injection to placate him. The patient has been restrained since the interview for his safety and the safety of the staff. Although apparently alert and aware, he refuses to respond in word or deed to any inquiry put to him. He simply watches, silent and frightened. Alright, well, that's fun. So, apparently we'll go for another ending, which is one that I think is probably self-evident. I guess it's evident when seeing it, so we'll restart from the very beginning. Here we are, and then let's just go ahead and jump out a window. It's as simple as that then. As the thought leaps outward, so does the body. Then all is open air and blowing wind, the moment stretched, elongated along some impossible axis, one choice out of a million possibilities, outstretched in flight. If there are words for this, they have not yet been written. The ground is a living thing now, leaping, spinning, rushing forward in that slow infinity it will take to reach you. Is this penance, then, to die for one's sins, or the sins of another? Whose hubris is greater, the sinner or the Savior? And the weaker thing within whoever, you or me, made this choice, has only enough time to barely begin voicing its disapproval, as the ground swiftly flies upwards towards its final home. And that's Appendix A. Alright, let's check that out. Appendix A. Source: Legends of the Illuminati, from Solomon to Richard the Lion-Hearted to the modern day. Robert Osprey, Hodder and Stoughton, London, 1975. Of the many bastard children of the line would come the self-proclaimed cipherists of the late 17th century. A small movement, and based in many of the same traditions, numerology, and the Temple of Solomon, most prominently, as the Masons. They did not claim a direct connection to the Templars, but rather asserted that what had been found in Temple Mount during the Crusades was the mathematical means by which the one true Torah, and all that implied, i.e. the true name of God, etc., was to be found. In their brief flowering, they remained chiefly concerned with information as permutation as a means of enlightenment, or a path to power over a universal force. Information, they stated, was the basis of all reality and could be manipulated, much like the individual letters of the Torah, by means equivalent to the Kabbalists' use of the Gematria. A strange mix of modern science and ancient religion, at the heart of the Cypher's creed was the machine, the analytic engine. Used as a metaphor for the universe of Newtonian's clockwork physics. The machine's rotations were akin to the spinning of prayer wheels, manipulating data in an endless chant. For all their proclamations of wisdom, however, they amounted to very little. By the early 18th century, they had all but died out. Many members had simultaneously been Masons. Some claim the Cypherists to be a splinter group from the very beginning, though the author seriously doubts this. And within several decades, they had been completely subsumed into the larger group. Rumors about the Cypherists still abound to the present day. Some claim they faked their own end, much like the Templars before them. Others say that the brief surfacing in the public view was unplanned, that they had in fact been in one form or another the guiding force behind the Illuminati since before the time of the Crusades. Such theories go on to say that the Cypherists' fervent belief in Kabbalistic ideals prove such, and have been the manipulating force of much of history back to biblical times. Of course, in these enlightened days, no one believes a word of it. Alright, this might make this a bit longer than we've gotten so far, but we have just a little ways to go. We only have one more ending to get, so we may as well just do that. I think you've already seen most of the pieces for it anyways, so